Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Radio Culture Podcast. My name is Brandon. I am your host, and today we're reunited with the lovely Miss Jasmine Clark for part 2, aka Spiritual Whistleblower. She came back for part 2.
Yes.
We had our first part of our Narcissistic Personality Disorder conversation, which ended up awesome. Great conversation.
Yes.
She definitely enlightened us on a lot of topics, a lot of awareness. So she's here for part 2, and we're going to get into a few more of the topics regarding narcissism.
Yes.
So today, real quick, for the new subscribers that's listening, that's tuning in, please subscribe. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. Please subscribe, like, share.
Yes.
It helps the content and it helps the community.
Yes.
So thank you so much. So today, yes, thank you so much for coming back.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I'm excited. I'm ready for round 2. Let's do it.
Yes. It was the conversation was so great that I was like,
we could have talked for 2 hours on that last time, honey.
Yeah, it caught me off guard too.
Yeah.
So first things first, we know in the media right now it's a big scandal. Mr. Derek Jackson.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So let's get him out the way. So sad to say, or not sad to say, the truth came out.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, they're saying that he's narcissistic with his wife. And I'll let you elaborate a little bit more.
This is part of my job, educating. Specifically our community, the world in general, but the Black community especially. But there is a difference between narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder, which, antisocial is the more criminal-ended type. You can be a narcissist and have antisocial personality, and they call this narcopath. So antisocial personality disorders is the sociopath and psychopath.
Okay.
They're the criminals.
Oh, okay. Makes
They're
sense.
the pedophiles, the rapists, the more criminal-minded, violent types. And my professional opinion, I think Derek Jackson is sociopathic. Psychopathic. He's way past. I mean, his level of narcissism is just crazy.
Okay.
But I'm grateful that this happened the way that it did, because Black women are so gullible. The truth can be in their face and they don't want to see it. I called this man out a year ago. 2 videos, directly tagged him, everything. He responded. Like I said, the man got over 1 million followers. He easily could have ignored me and gone about his business. He don't need to respond to little old me when he's making millions. He's a multimillionaire off of the backs of broken Black women. So why would he respond to my little bitty comment? Because I called him out then for what he was. And still Black women was like, sis, you crazy. Now look at this mess now.
He has a huge community,
and they're still gonna follow him. It's like we want to be lied to. We don't want to deal with the truth. So you know what? It's very frustrating to be in this position to educate people and have them dismiss and discredit your work, and then they got to find out the truth the hard way. But I'm still gonna press on and continue, because my stuff is getting out there and people are waking up. But I've called several women. Please pay attention to the men who are supporting Derek right now. R.C. Blake's Ace Metaphor, who has backpedaled because Ace and Derek are close friends. And he supported Derek with a video, got rid of the video, put out a new video. Derek Jackson is a narcissist, threw his homeboy underneath the bus. Then he deleted that video. Now he's back to deflecting. So women need to pay attention who's supporting Derek. Derek's a woman beater. He's a sociopath. Any man that supports that, like Mr. R.C. Blake's, the pastor, there's no excuse. I don't care how truthful his content is or how it has helped you. You have to understand, these life coaches steal content from the real experts and regurgitate it. Does it make it right? No, because you refuse to see the abuse tactics. This is an abuser. If he uses truth, does it make it right? No. Focus on the abuse and stop supporting these manipulators and predators. What is it going to take, Black women? I'm over it. But I'm going to keep doing what I need to do to educate and get it out there. I'm just tired of women being gullible, and it's so soothing to hear a man talk to them and tell them everything they want to hear because their ex shitted on them. But the man that's telling you all this stuff, he's a predator and manipulator too.
Agreed.
And they teach women to don't follow other women. They want us to compete and be jealous of us. That's triangulation. That's a narcissistic abuse tactic. Teach women how to go against each other and just follow the men. Women got to stop. They got to cut this out. So that's all I got to say about Derek Jackson. I called it a year ago. There's many more that are to follow. I have a long list of them. I don't believe women should follow males at all.
You heard what his wife said. She made a statement. She came out with a statement, I think, a couple of days ago.
They did a video together, and he did not apologize to her. He was basically explaining why he cheated, how he, backpedaled. I don't even believe he said "I love you" to his wife. And it's a little. I see deep into their relationship. I think she's very broken. But I also feel too that she's either a toxic codependent or a religious narcissist herself.
Okay.
And because there's so much money involved, she's going to work with him. They're like a team. There's a lot of celebrity couples that are doing this.
Yeah,
and I also get bisexual lesbian vibes from her.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
If you look at Swiss Beats Alicia Keys, the lesbian rumors about Alicia. Come on, and she's a narc. She stole him right from his woman. Look at Candy and Todd. Look at T.I. and Tiny. Look at Kim and Kanye, Will and Jada. They don't have a marriage. They have a partnership. And they're both bisexual in their marriage. The marriage is the front to fool people, but they got all type of sexual craziness going behind closed doors. People better wake up. I see it a mile away. Yeah. So I think Derek and his wife, they're going to, someone got to them, maybe an attorney, and said, shut up, get off of social media. So they're strategizing right now. And sis ain't going nowhere. Sis is going to work with him through all the cheating stuff because there's a lot of money involved, and he's got a deal. He has a deal on the table with TD Jakes, is what I'm hearing through the grapevine. But there's more side chicks coming forward. There's more tea. Wow. It's crazy. It's coming out. I want black women to wake the fuck up. Stop letting these men, you jump from one frying pan to the next. You left your ex, now you run into a male life coach because his voice sounds nice, or he looks handsome, or what he's saying is soothing, and you wish your ex would have been the same. Women gotta wake up. They just so gullible. Yeah, I hate to be like that, but it is what it is. But I'm gonna keep doing what I do.
You know what makes it probably add to that? The social distancing, staying home. They need that.
Oh, and the church is closed. If the church doors are closed, these rotten, toxic pastors and all that. It's a lot of corruption going on since the pandemic popped out. And these narcs are losing their mind because their money has been affected.
I saw a post that you said about toxic narcissism in the church.
Covert narcissism.
Excuse me. Yes, covert narcissism in the church.
Especially in the black church.
Yeah, yes, and that's a whole separate conversation with that.
Baby, we can do a whole hour on that.
Yeah, people not ready for that. But we're gonna, with that being said, last conversation or last episode we talked about gaslighting, love bombing, future faking, a lot of the basic narcissistic terms. For the new listeners that's tuning in for the first time for this part 2, you can look up the definitions and stuff like that. But the basics of narcissistic personality disorder pretty much is manipulative liar, compulsive liar,
pattern inconsistency,
very
smearing,
textbook with their behavior,
triangulation, putting people against each other all the time, just very messy. Starting, they're facilitators of drama, so they're constantly putting people against each other. Yeah. And they do this in every situation. It could be work, new supply, their new girlfriends, their ex-girlfriends, whoever it is, they put people, because it makes them feel in control that they're the ones facilitating the drama amongst people. So inconsistent, criminal-minded, very manipulative, very financially hungry and abusive, just rotten people. Yeah. And fake. They're fake in the public. But their behavior to the public is inconsistent with their character and behavior behind closed doors. Wow. So we spoke very lightly on narcissists or mothers or parents that's raising not just men but women too, but they're raising their children up and they're narcissistic themselves. Yes. So to piggyback off of that, one of the topics today is toxic family members. So with that being said, how does that creating the whole boundaries with the toxic people in your life, in the family, what's a good way to determine, or I guess you would say discern better with the toxic people? How is it better for individuals to vet their family better without just saying, "Oh, you're a narcissist," or "You're evil"? I'll just explain how I came to terms with raising my discernment based off of my family and my upbringing. I always knew something was off with my family, my parents. My family, both sides, are incredibly dysfunctional. My parents were very violent in the household. They fought a lot. They fought in the streets. They didn't care who saw them fist fighting. The pettiness, the drama, and because I was the oldest child, I have 2 siblings, I paid the price. Narcissistic parents do this thing called parentification. The scapegoat child, who is the black sheep child, that's the one child that receives all the abuse. They dump all the responsibility. They make this child the caretaker, all of that. that was dumped on me. I was made to be a parent. I'm the third parent in this situation because both my parents are so busy fighting and all that. So I had to raise my siblings. I had to be like a surrogate parent to take care of my siblings. And this is where my parents groomed me to be the caretaker, to be the doormat, to be the people pleaser, to not even, seek validation and love myself because I'm so busy taking care of everybody else at a young age when I should be learning to self-respect and self-love as a young teenage girl. I'm not. I'm being groomed and broken down to be a slave, a servant, to take care of everyone else except myself. So guess what? When I become a woman, and even all through my teenage years, even in high school, I'm attracting toxic friends that bully me. I'm attracting all types of toxic people, and I just take all this abuse. I'm the quiet, shy girl. I'm the fat girl in the corner. I take a lot of shit off of people because of what mommy and daddy have taught me. You are to shut up and just be a doormat and a servant. Yeah. So now I'm a grown woman, and I go out into the real world, and I don't have no boundaries. I've been trained to be this caretaker, this nurse, this, see the best in people, no matter how bad they are. Let people keep giving people numerous chances. Of course, I'm going to attract abusive men into my life. Yeah. So this is how we link narcissistic abuse back to mommy and daddy. They are the original abusers who train us to tolerate and accept unacceptable, deplorable behavior in our adulthood. And our parents know once we get in these toxic, abusive relationships, they're not going to last. Yeah. Because they know this abuser is going to destroy us, beat us, take our money, all that. And then when they break us down, where can we go? We got to run back home to mommy and daddy for refuge. And that's exactly how they want it. Yeah. They want that control back even in our adulthood. And I think mom and dad are fucking sick. They are sick for this. So my thing is teaching people, baby, if you want to heal, you really want to heal and do the work to clean yourself up, get rid of your original abuser, mommy and daddy. I put that on everything.
And for me, I tried to explain to a relative that not exactly narcissistic, but your behavior is very entitled, very selfish, very
self-entitled. Everyone owes them everything. They own your money. They feel entitled to everything, and they have this grandiose sense of their over-exaggerated level of importance when they're this small. And they're super jealous. You could be super successful. They will not. If they can't control you and your money, they're not going to acknowledge you. Yeah. They feel inferior to you. Yeah. So imagine having a mother or father, which I did. My mother, let me specifically say my mother. This is my mother. Jealous of my beauty, my talents, my accomplishments. My immediate family, I'm the only one. And I raised my child. My child is disabled on top of that. I was able to do more by myself than my whole immediate family collectively. I'm pursuing a doctorate in psychology right now. I was meant to fail. They wanted me to fail. They wanted me to have COVID. When COVID hit New York City and we had the highest death rate in the world, my mother popped up like, you ain't got COVID, how you? No. I got the blood of Christ all over me, the anointing. So your parents will be jealous of you when you're successful. And you don't let them control you. You set boundaries. Then they'll send the whole family, the rest of the family to attack and tear you down. So people got to understand, if you want to grow and you want to step aside and follow your purpose, you cannot until you address the toxicity in the root of your childhood trauma. If mom and dad are narcissists, that is the root of your pain and suffering and toxicity. And you got to, it's like a tooth. You ever had an abscess? You ever had a cavity? And all that fluid is building up, that infection. You know what? You might be able to take painkillers and you might get antibiotics to make it go away temporarily, but that infection is going to come back if you don't pull the tooth out altogether and uproot it. Yeah. To deal with the infection.
Yeah, from the source itself.
The source of your childhood trauma must be uprooted and disposed. And people are so guilty. That's mom and dad. I don't know what to, I can't just, baby, if you don't detach, they're going to burn your ass over and over again. They don't give a fuck about you.
They say family will hit you the most.
Baby.
Yeah, they'll take it.
I wouldn't be at this level of success I am if I didn't cut my family off. I am so unapologetic about it. I am indifferent. I don't care. I don't care what they think. I don't care about no lies they spread. I'm sore. Eagles soar alone. You gotta study the psychology and anatomy of an eagle.
The eagle, yeah.
Eagles don't fuck around with groups. They soaring above everybody else because they have separated themselves.
Yeah.
Excellence. If you want to be excellence, you got to be separated from the bullshit and the groups and the cliques, so that you can soar and go into what God needs you to be, your calling and purpose.
Yeah.
And family will hold you back.
Oh, definitely. What did it say? Blood thicker than water?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. I've noticed a lot of deflecting, or for me, for relatives, when I speak with them, a lot of deflecting, a lot of victim rolling, like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Victim shaming, victim blaming,
to take the spotlight off of them in the
shifting,
moment.
all of that.
Yeah, and then it's like after consistent apologies, there's no change in the behavior.
It never will be. And that's what it's tough explaining this to people, but when you understand that mom and dad, there's this cycle. If mom and dad is a narcissist, they know how to play both sides of the fence. Narcissists are incredibly two-faced.
Yeah.
So let's just say you cut your parents off and it's been 6 months, right? They did something to you real shady, no matter what it is. And you said, you know what? I love my mom and dad. Let me just distance myself. Y'all fall out.
Yeah.
And they did you dirty, but because you're such a good-hearted empath, your loyalty says, you know what? Let me give mom and dad another chance. Besides, that's mom and dad. And then they got family members pressuring you, family members reaching out to you on Facebook in the inbox or calling you. You need to go, give your mom and dad another chance. You need to honor your mother. The Bible says honor your mother and father. You only got one mother. They guilt you into going back into the fire. Okay, so let me give mom and dad another chance out of loyalty. Even though they're the fucking ones that fucked this shit up to begin with. And they're going to be nice. Trust me. They want you to come back, so they're going to be nice. They trying to pull you back in. So they got to be on their best behavior.
Let me add this real quick. Money, they also use money to hold you to gifts and all that.
Love bombing. Love bombing is part. Parents will use the love bombing to pull you back into the trap. Gifts, affection, I'm sorry, da-da-da-da, all that. You take your ass on back there. And guess what? They're going to kick you. They're going to kick you harder than they did the first time. Yeah. So I went through this cycling with my parents. I don't know how many times. I've lost count. And I said, you know what? Let me get off this hamster wheel.
This roller coaster.
Because I see what's going on here. They're not going to change. They're actually getting worse with age. I love them. I forgive them. But if I want to live a fruitful life and follow the purpose and everything that God has lined up for me, I got to cut the root off of my toxicity.
From the source.
I don't want to go around projecting my toxicity onto people. And your parents are not going to allow you to do that because they enable your codependency every time you interact or deal with them. People got to understand that.
I had to realize.
Uproot the infection if you want to heal in full.
Wow.
And that's all I got to say.
Wow. And that's so true. That's so hands-on. For me, I've tried to help, just awareness. I try to give family members awareness. So I give them that chance, but apology, victim, a love mom, same cycle. Yeah, it is.
I did a video on my Instagram this morning, a very short 30-minute reel, and I explained how toxic people work. You can cut off somebody, toxic, narcissistic, family, friend, foe. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I've cut off a lot of people. I just cut off a friendship of 25 years a couple months ago, and I hate that I had to do it, but I had to save myself. But what happens when you cut off these toxic people, they will pop back up in your life at some point, and they're going to beg for another chance.
Yeah, of course.
And if you stand up for yourself, you said, you know what, I love you. The love never changes because I'm authentic and I'm an empath. I love you. And I forgive you for what you had done to me. But I cannot allow you to cross these boundaries and do it again to me. You understand? And I wish you the best and all. You could be super positive. You say all this and without letting, they're going to be pissed the fuck off. Because at the end of the day, they don't want your forgiveness. They want a second chance to come in. It's about control, and it's about, okay, I wasn't successful with destroying her the first time. I made a good attempt to destroy her, but she thriving. So I got to get back in there and tear her ass up some more. So they want to get back in to finish the job, and you better not let them back in. I don't care who it is. When, like Maya Angelou, when people show you who they are the first time, not the second, third, fifth time, the first, you go off of that.
And believe him.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creating boundaries or just maintaining boundaries. What is a good suggestion because of course with boundaries, people are not always going to respect it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's where the boundaries come in. So what's a good way to maintain those boundaries and regardless of how another person feels, like this is my boundary. Well, even with family members, what's the best way to go about that?
Oh, baby, when it comes to me, 911.
Oh,
I've had to call the cops on my mother. Yes.
okay.
These people don't stop.
Yeah.
These people don't stop. They don't understand the word no, leave me alone. It's over. I accept it. You played me. You dogged me. You stole from me. I get it. You broke me.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this loss. I'm going to take this L. You got it. I don't care. Gossip, say whatever. Just leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to leave you alone.
Yeah.
They want to keep coming back. They want to keep overstepping boundaries. They feel that they own you and you're a piece of personal property. They're entitled to you controlling your life, your finances, all that. They don't understand what the word no means.
Yeah.
And I've dealt with
No
this.
means no.
My parents. So you got to get thug on them. Mm-hmm. Don't be scared to dial 911. Don't be scared of his family. Dial 911 on your family. Yes. Dial 911 on your baby daddy, your baby mama. Do what you get that restraining order. But you're going to respect my peace. I am committed to living a peaceful life. You will not interrupt my peace. You tried to kill me. You tried to put me 6 feet under the first go round. Not no more. Mm-hmm. No.
Word.
Leave me alone. Word. You gotta thug up to make them respect you is what I'm saying, because they don't stop.
Yeah.
They never stop.
I agree. Question. Mm-hmm. Radio silence versus no contact. What's so no contact, of course, is not communicating, all access. Radio silence is just quiet.
Radio silence to me is manipulation, because a lot of people that play with narcissists get burnt. You can't ever think you're over or out manipulating a narcissist or going tit for tat, or you can't think that you're going to outsmart the narcissist and doing this. They love to play games. They love the tit for tat. They love all that. The only way to destroy a narcissist is to bow out and go strict, no contact. Call the police if you have to. Don't play games with these people, because these people have done this with multiple victims. Multiple victims. So they're an ace at triggering people and provoking and gaslighting and stalking. They love it.
Yeah.
Don't play that game, because you're going to lose. Don't ever think you can out-manipulate a master manipulator.
Yeah.
Don't play the game. Bow out, and you destroy them when you treat them indifferently, like they're dead.
Yeah.
And if they bother you, go call 911. Throw their ass in jail.
I try to tell people social media, don't follow like the hoovering and how that goes.
Right.
And then I've had
get
people,
off their social media, because everything they post is a damn lie anyway. It's to fool people.
The projection
a lot of them have multiple what are you doing with 5 Facebook accounts? That's because they telling one lie to this group, they telling another lie to this group. They're using this third Facebook account. You know, if it's a man, then he's on the down low. He's using his third account to, talk to men on the low. They're sneaky. Yeah. Get off their social media. It's all lies and deception. Let God deal with them.
I'll do that. Yeah.
These people are miserable, and their deception didn't stop at you. This is their character. So they're going to continue their deceptive ways with others.
Yeah.
Stay off of it and go live a happy life and go heal.
For the ones that's having trouble with boundaries and they feel guilty when they say like no to narcissists or people that's
family members, yeah.
How when they're feeling guilty, what's the best way for them to just stand firm in that, and how they feel like I don't want to ruffle feathers. I don't want to. What's the best way for them? Because a lot of people are scared to kind of stand up to the narcissist or stand up to narcissistic family members. And
I'll speak on my experience. I felt guilty cutting family off, and what it took for me was I constantly kept getting burnt,
abused, and
if you leave a window open, if you leave a door cracked, they will come in. And what I was doing, I would cut off one family member, but I would leave the door open for another family member to come in and pass messages and stuff. When you cut family off, you got to be across the board with it. Everybody got to go.
Yeah.
Because they use each other. It's like they form, a group, and they work together to gang stalk you to pull you back into that dysfunction.
Dysfunction, yeah.
Close all the windows, close the doors, close the portal. Do not allow the abuser or his or her minions to get in. It will feel guilty I felt guilty at first, but what started happening, my life was very peaceful. Wasn't nobody ringing my phone with gossip. Wasn't nobody ringing my phone with drama. Wasn't nobody pulling my name in no drama. It felt good that my name is not involved in any of the family drama.
Yeah.
That nobody could say Chanel said this, Chanel is starting trouble here. I am detached from all of it. So you'll feel guilty at first, but what happens, things will start to be peaceful. Your house is peaceful. And then now you're able to focus on, your goals and getting your mind right, and you going to therapy and you focusing on what you need so that you can elevate. You got to get rid of family.
Yeah.
You will feel guilty, but when you learn that they are the reason, they're like an anchor weighing you down. Get over that fear and that guilt and watch God bless you in ways that, the doors will open when you get rid of that shit.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first I was very guilty to cut off friends, even family. And family, I feel like it's the hardest to let go. And
you grew up with them.
Yeah.
And then it's like they teach you to overlook the abuse and we love you. How the hell you love me and you fucking abusing me?
Exactly.
And molesting me?
Mm-hmm.
That's trickery. That's black magic to me. You want me to overlook the abuse and say it's love. That ain't love. That's trickery. That's sorcery. No, you ain't love. Yeah.
And I tell people all the time to just like, and myself, I try to remind myself, just the boundaries, just nobody's going to respect it. That's my boundary. You're not going to respect it. You don't have to. That's for me.
Yeah.
That's for me. And I feel like a lot of friends I've had, oh, you're being too sensitive. Or you're being like, it's like a dismissing your feelings, your thoughts, and
toxic people, narcissistic people do this thing, and I get it every day, and I love it. You got a big mouth. You bitter. You curse too much. You masculine. You gonna die old and single and bitter. All that is techniques to bully me into being silent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a bullying.
I'm like, you absolutely right. Now what you gonna do to shut my mouth up, motherfucker? I'm gonna still run my mouth. So they do this thing. They hate that you are woke.
There we go. Yes,
so there'll be different techniques to silence you and discredit you and invalidate. Or there's this technique called stonewalling. They just don't even want to see or acknowledge that you have wised up and you ain't about the bullshit no more.
Yeah.
I don't care. Y'all say whatever you want. Shut my mouth. You want to silence me, but you can't. And that's it.
I realized I started looking at everybody narcissistic. And after my experience, I'm like, family, aunts, grandmother, friends, bosses. I'm like, everybody's narcissistic. And I was like, at first I thought I was crazy for thinking that way.
No, you ain't
but
crazy.
It was my third eye opened
You're just surrounded by a bunch of crazies that have projected onto you.
And so I feel like that was so God sent because I started waking up. And so now I only allow the positive and the healthy in my life now. And so people don't understand that. So
they ain't gotta understand it, just as long as you do, and the people you connect with understand that. Yeah,
even with my platform, a lot of friends, no support. I don't expect them to, but
well, your support's going to come from strangers.
Strangers, of
My
course.
fan base is all strangers. It is not friends or family.
And I had to learn that lesson too, because I'm thinking, oh, we're friends for years. Come on.
If you start from the same level from the bottom with your friends and family, and you surpass them, they're going to have a problem with you. They're going to do the crabs and barrel, try to pull you down. That's why I say move out of your hometown. You got to get away from them people, the people who went to high school with, all that. Them people going to have a problem when you're accelerating, and they're like, wait a minute, we all came from the bottom together. How you ahead of me?
How you get, they look at you like they're like, you're the same as me. And you stay down, I'm down here, you stay down here. No, I'm not
the same as you. I'm anointed, baby. You got that twisted. No, I'm anointed and I'm somewhere else with it. So y'all stay in y'all clique, y'all toxic clique, and do what you do. God got other plans for me. I'm an eagle soaring above all of it.
Amen to that.
Hey.
To that. So if you're listening real quick, please stay subscribed. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all of that good stuff. Next topic. So narcissism in the workplace. We're going to get into the HR.
Ooh, la. Let's go.
A lot of people want to get into that. Also myself, from my knowledge. So I've had a boss, or a supervisor that very toxic, very controlling, very manipulative, no respect at all. Had to end up switching departments just because of that supervisor, and then find out later spreading lies about me as how my work is. I'm not all for the whole 9 to 5, to be honest, but this individual particularly, or management particularly, Very toxic, very just lies. I realized afterwards, and I had no particular problem. It was just rumors and lies, and I guess that's like flying monkeys, other supervisors. Yeah, I guess you would say that. So break down narcissism, how it operates in a workplace setting. So bosses, some supervisors, bosses, coworkers. Yeah,
I'll give an example on I went through a situation where I was sexually harassed in the workplace. I've been in a few situations where this is why I'm an entrepreneur. I cannot do the 9 to 5. I can't have no one telling me what the fuck to do. Yeah. If you have a narcissistic boss, trust and believe they're going to play these psychological. You could be the best employee up in there, do the best quality work. They will still, if you're not kissing their ass and they know you're independent and they can sense that you're one of a kind.
One of a kind, yeah.
So they will discredit, they'll take your work, but they will invalidate you at the same time. The one employee that's kissing their ass, being the teacher's pet, running and see, I've been in all type of situations in the workplace. There's that one gossiping coworker that runs to the boss and tells them all the tea and gossip, and they kissing the boss's ass. Narcissistic abuse, covert narcissism is in the workplace for sure. And if you've had, it's like you feel like people are gossiping about you behind your back in the workplace, you are in the middle of it. And what's frustrating for people, because I've talked to many people and I've been in this situation, you can't just walk away because this is your bread. I need to make a living. So just the thought of getting up every day knowing like, God damn, here we go. I got to go back to this motherfucking 9 to 5 and put up with the boss and the coworkers. I hate my job. People, and this will affect, people have gone depressed, your skin break out, your stomach, ulcers, all that. I've been through all of this. Lethargic. You don't even want to get out the fucking bed to go to work.
Go to work, yeah. Because
you're dreading it. So narcissistic abuse within the workplace is very real. And let me tell people something. If you think the HR department is on your side, you got another motherfucking thing coming. They try to make like, you got any complaints about anything, sexual harassment, racial discrimination, anything, even with the sex, the transgender, all that, you got any issues, file a complaint and you report it to us and we will do everything we can to. They make like they on the employee side. Let me tell you something. HR is on the side of the company.
Yeah.
Their job is to make sure there's no potential lawsuit against the employer. And if you pose a threat and they know that you're being bullied and all this is going on and you complain about it, they're going to work to get you the fuck up out of there. There's going to be an attempt to bully you until you resign.
Bully, yeah, definitely.
Or, yeah, that's what I did. I couldn't take it on. I got 18 years with the New York State. I'm a government worker. 18 years. I could go back tomorrow if I want. They would take me with all my credentials. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want nobody telling me what to do.
That's that environment.
When I had the excellent benefits, New York State government workers, I had excellent benefits, pension, everything. I don't want to go back to it because I cannot deal with the narcissism in the workplace because I'll be slap somebody.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
And I'd rather resign while my name is, I have integrity attached to my name. I'd rather resign with class than to fuck somebody up on the job.
Exactly.
So this is going on everywhere. I get a lot. I coach people that are like, my boss is stressing me out. What do I do? I'm like, baby, look for a new job.
At that point,
there's no other way around it because HR is going to cover for the company. If HR learns that any funky mess is going on, sexual harassment, racial discrimination, narcissistic abuse is at the root of racism, sexual abuse, homophobia, all that. The government don't want us knowing this information, but that's the root of all of it. So if HR is comprised of workers who are narcissistic, they are trained and they already know if you pose a problem to this company or the image or there's any potential lawsuits, we got to get you the fuck up out of here.
Yeah.
We're either going to bully you or pressure you to resign, or we're going to find a way to fire you. We're going to start plotting to get you in trouble so that we can write you up to fire you. It's a system. So it's very real.
So I found that from my experience. So I called HR. I was telling them about the management. So they always backed up the supervisor.
Of course, they're not for the employee.
Is this the first time, or is this can you give us more information? And I'm like, this is the third time I've called within the year. And
No, they want all the
doing
tea,
anything.
so their intervention, to shut you down. It ain't about the company. It's well, we gotta get this motherfucker up out of here.
The only response that they did or help that they tried to say, and it wasn't even help. Let's say that, but they was like, well, we need to speak to the supervisor first, and we let's hear their side of the story. And I'm like, well, that's gonna be a lie because once they talk, they're gonna start saying lies, but that they don't know that they're lying on me, and it's affecting my job, my pay. It affected my pay. I'm not even getting paid what I'm supposed to be getting paid. I've
been sexually harassed, and I found out the person at my job has a history of it, and the company was covering for him, which is very common. So if I had to do it all over again, because what they tell you is anything happens, report it to HR immediately. That's the first step. I would have never reported it.
Yeah.
I would have called a news station, because a lot of reporters would love to take a story about some corrupt shit going on in a company, especially if it's a major company. I would go to a news station first.
There you go.
Then let the news station call HR. Then HR gonna be licking your ass. Then you can have some leeway.
That press is in it.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all kiss my ass while I look for a new job. But I would not go to HR first. I would go to an attorney. I would seek other options before I reported to HR. HR is never on the employee side. They're there to protect the company's image. Always remember that.
How do you deal with management and supervisors that intimidate you? What's the best way, as an empath, let's say, what's the best way to handle that type of pressure? Because I had a lot of I feel there was a lot of pressure. They tried to intimidate me because of like, well, you can't, if you don't come in, it's your job, or if you call out or take even vacation time. If you take vacation time, it's your job.
Tape everything. Tape phone conversations. If they call you in for a meeting, secretly tape the meeting. You got to document. Yeah. I don't care what level. Narcissists, you have to document to catch them in their lies. They're habitual liars.
Okay.
If you have no evidence, then it's basically he say, she say.
Yeah.
So they're always inconsistent, and they think they can get away with it. And if they got other enablers helping them to get away with it, of course.
Yeah.
But if you got your paper trail lined up, I would tape everything. That's what I did at my last job. I was taping everything. And then I had to resign because I said, I'm going to fuck somebody up.
At this point.
And then I found out the person that sexually harassed me has a history of doing this to other women, and the company is covering for him. It's disgusting and it's repulsive.
Yeah. What about coworkers? Like coworkers, they can be narcissistic too? Or
absolutely.
Yeah.
Who do the boss needs, his minions, his flying monkeys out there on the floor to report back to him what's going on. The boss can't keep up with what's going on the floor 24/7. The boss is in meetings and different things, so he gotta have the toxic flying monkeys, co-workers out there looking and reporting all the gossip and tea. So yeah, it's very real. A toxic work environment will break you the fuck down. Like, I was going to the doctor. I needed a antidepressant to go to work.
Yeah,
it's that real. So it's like, but once I quit, everything, I felt wonderful.
Yeah,
I love the entrepreneur life. Entrepreneur life. I love it. I am my own boss. I call my own shots. And I like the money is coming in now. So I'm not doing that 9-to-5 shit no more.
Yeah, I had also, I guess, flying monkeys, smear campaign, flying monkeys. That was I experienced a lot of
in
that.
The workplace.
Yeah,
you'll be smeared.
I understand a lot of that. And out of nowhere, I don't know where it came from. So then when I found out the lies, now it makes sense. Coworkers, they were asking questions and prying and a lot of things like that. I was like, okay, now looking back, I understand where all the information is. Like, how did you know all this information? So the manager at the time was telling them.
They in cahoots, honey. They got all the tea. You come up in there. I'll give you an example. When I started a job, I had this coworker, and she was like the teacher's pet. Like she was the favorite, everyone. And I came in there with more credentials than her. We have the same job title, but I came in there with my master's degree and all this experience.
Yeah.
And she looked at me on my first day of work and she said, if you think you're going to outshine me, you think again.
Yeah.
She's a narcissist because her insecurities, she's let me know she's insecure. Just in that sentence right there. Sis, I don't want to compete with you. This is a team effort, but because she was threatened, and I came in there with my business suit on, looking all slim and fly, and she did her research on me. She's like, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome." But then she said, "Yeah, I see what you got going on. If you think you're gonna come in here and outshine me, you got nothing." She told me this. I'm like, God damn, sis, I just want my paycheck.
That's
I ain't
it.
in competition. Just as long as they cut me my check
That's it. Yeah.
twice a month, we good. I don't want to compete with no, I ain't kissing no boss ass. I don't give a fuck. Y'all just run me my money. if you are more concerned with being the teacher's pet and getting, all this shine, that's you. You can have it. Run me my money.
At that point,
I don't give a fuck about this what's going on in this. I'm just gonna do my job and go the fuck home. Run me my money. But these narcissists, they thrive off of a pat on the back, validation. They're highly competitive. So if you got a toxic coworker and you're a threat, I done been through all of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I hope people listening, the listeners listening, that's it's such a big, especially it's Women's History Month, by the way. So March is
almost over. Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like this is just a great conversation for this month because a lot of people, they're in these workplaces or they work for these companies and it's just toxic and it's draining them. But you gotta understand
more
that
people are taking the entrepreneur route though. I love it. And is it Goldman Sachs? They just they just announced, was it last week or the week before, they're investing $10 billion into Black women, giving out loans.
I think I've heard.
Because Black women are hustlers. We are spitting out these businesses left and right. And I said that ain't nothing but pain, breakups and heartbreak, and Black women are like, well, fuck you. You don't mean a good man to me.
At this point,
I'm gonna focus on my goals. So the Goldman Sachs see a niche, a market. Black women is on the up and up, and they're the fastest growing, I believe, target audience, becoming entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs, yeah.
Black women will turn pain into purpose in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Goldman Sachs is now investing in us, and it's a lot of pissed off, toxic Black men that have a problem with it. But
we're in the conversation.
Thank you for breaking my heart. So now I'm gonna turn my pain and I'm gonna turn it into money.
So bag.
There we go.
Yeah, catch a bag.
That's
catch
right.
a bag. So I had a viewer on one of my lives, and so they wanted me to ask this question. It's a breakdown, but covert versus overt, and which is it's a basic question, but they wanted to know the difference between covert narcissism and overt.
A covert is the silent, deadly type.
Silent, deadly.
So let's talk about church.
Yeah.
If mom and dad are covert narcissists and they go to church every week, they've put together this beautifully packaged image to the outside world that they're a happy, wonderful family. They go to church every week. Praise the Lord. But when y'all get home, you're being abused. You're being whooped, beat, starved. There's different things going on behind closed doors that they will not allow the public to see. That's covert. Coverts are silent and invisible with their abuse. And if you go out telling people about your abuser, no one will believe you because they're like, we got to see the abuse. Your mom and dad did that? No, your mom and dad, from what I know, they're beautiful people. They church-going people. No. Coverts are very well skilled at hiding their manipulation, and they're the worst types because they can pull off appearing empathetic to the public eye. You will think they're empaths. That's how good they are at masking. So your discernment has to be next level to catch it.
Yeah.
Overts are out there with it. I would think Kevin Samuels, in my opinion, is an overt. Just like he don't give a fuck because he's getting all this supply and attention and fuel from area. Overts are just out there. They don't care. They want the world to know this is who I am. I don't give a fuck. And da 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 da. A lot of the red pill, there's a lot of male life coaches that are toxic that hate women. The red pill community, they're overts because they have on their channels. They clearly bash women and they don't give a fuck. So overt is just, I'm out there with it. This is my toxic masculinity, toxic femininity. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. Bye. So that's the difference between covert and overt.
Wow. Because I now, when making sense, I see a lot of covert. A lot more covert than I see overt. And people are so bold with the narcissism now, or just their traits. But the covert, now that you're saying it, makes sense. Makes sense. The
coverts are the real predators.
Yeah, those are the silent but deadly ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very deadly.
I try to tell people, or friends of mine that they're dating these people, and so individual is not being like impersonal, not asking about themselves, all about them. I'm just like, have you thought like they might be narcissistic? And so next question is that there's a difference between narcissistic traits and then just having full-blown narcissism. So even for myself, I'm trying to learn what is the fine line between are you just narcissistic or are you just a little...
The fine line is character.
Character, okay.
I wrote a children's book. I have it with me. But
Hello, my name is Empathy, right?
Hello, my name is Empathy, available on Amazon.com.
Yes, check that out, guys.
The difference is character and integrity and moral compass. That's the thin line. So we all, like I said in our last interview, everybody has narc traits. If you were raised in a toxic family, you're going to pick up, it's like they call it narcissistic fleas. You can Google that term and there's videos on narcissistic fleas. And what it is, it's like, you know how a dog has fleas?
Yeah.
When you separate yourself from your family, your toxic family, you got fleas on you. You're going to be itching and scratching. And you're going to go through this life process of figuring out like, how do I get rid of these fleas now that I got away from my family? So it is natural to pick up toxic narcissistic traits because you were raised in that environment. We all are. Every time you take a selfie, you're being narcissistic.
That's narcissistic, yeah.
You know?
That self-image.
So, but the thin line is people with full-blown NPD don't give a fuck. They're the one, and we're the ones, those of us that have the traits, but we're growing and we want to, you know, get rid of this stuff. We go to therapy. We want to heal. We want to seek the truth. We want to get to the bottom of our childhood trauma. We want to be free of our past and the things that, you know, are holding us back so we can grow. We want to, you know, serve our purpose. We want to follow God. Okay. Now, those that have full-blown NPD, behind closed doors, they're snakes, manipulators, liars, they're thieves, financially controlling, they're jealous, envious, competitive. Their character and moral compass is in the fucking gutter. They're great at, you know, the presentation. They know how to get in the public eye and look like beautiful, perfect, wonderful people. But when you get them behind closed doors, it's criminal-minded, deceptive manipulation.
Christianity or narcissism within the Christianity or the Christian community, the church. Pastors can be narcissistic too.
Most of them are.
So
if not all, I'll be careful. I'll say most.
Most. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And I was raised in the church. My grandmother was.
And I was too, Baptist.
My grandmother was Holiness Baptist. My great grandmother had she built up a church from scratch. So, though I've noticed, and that's that. When I say sad to say, it's just that third eye awakening. That wow, some of these ministers, some of these ordained pastors.
It's covert narcissism.
Covert.
I
was going to say covert.
That's all it is.
Interesting. And then
it's a cult.
Cult.
When you hear the word cult, it means there's a leader at the top, and he's got a bunch of weak people following him, blind leading the blind. It's all narc abuse.
I feel like some ministers, and this is just my personal opinion, I feel like some ministers use tithe and offering. Pocket that.
I wouldn't say some. I say all of them. And the ones that really pressure, R.C. Blakes does it. A lot of them do it. I
listen to him. Yeah.
They pressure. If they on YouTube, they going to pressure you on that super chat. Donate. I ain't going to speak until you donate.
R.C. Blakes? Well, all right. I didn't know that because I've donated.
If they on your ass to donate and they get an attitude if you're not donating enough.
That's narcissistic.
Hell yeah.
Copy on that.
Why do I got to go through a middleman? The church is working with the government to keep us suppressed, by the way. Black people, wake up. Wake up.
Wow. That's deep.
Let me really quickly.
Yeah.
I will say the black community, a lot of people are waking up and pulling away from the black church and tapping into their own spirituality
yes.
and they're understanding like, I never needed the black church to get to God. God is inside of me.
Yeah.
He is right there. Baby, I can hold Bible study in my house. I can build a sanctuary in my bedroom. I can talk to him all day long and he will talk back.
Yeah.
That middleman is unnecessary. So a lot of people are waking up and they're going towards spirituality and dealing with God on a one-on-one type of thing instead of going to the black church where there's pedophilia, misogyny, and all types of cult-like behavior. Yeah.
I think, and I'm not going to speak on the church too much, but I feel like a lot of, especially in the black churches, a lot of judgment and criticalism, like, I'm better than thou, I'm better than you.
Well, that's a narcissistic.
That's narcissistic. Yeah, even the congregation. For what I remember.
The congregation is full of enablers.
Enablers, yeah.
If you're highly intelligent or highly discerning, you're not going to fit in. You got to be weak-minded. You got to be gullible and groomable. But see, those of us that are anointed, we're leaders. We're not followers. So they're going to have a problem with us because we ain't with the bullshit. We can see through everything.
Wow.
Come on now. Eagles soar alone, baby.
Yeah, yes, agreed to that. So you wrote a book regarding co-parenting with a narcissist. Now, I at the moment I have no children, but for the parents that are dealing with baby fathers, baby mothers, that's a big, I'm sorry to say.
It's massive.
But yeah, especially for the woman community, that they're dealing with these individuals that just toxic, unresponsive, not even cooperative at all. What's your speak on just co-parenting real quick? And if you want to promote the book, that particular book that was.
The book is called Protecting the Pawn, Co-Parenting with a Narcissist by Chanel Jasmine Clark. It is available on Amazon right now. I would recommend if you're co-parenting with a toxic, narcissistic individual, please get it. It's only $12. And I went through it. My daughter's 20 years old now, so I've gone through it. I fought 15 years in the family court system here in New York. I had an attorney maybe not even 6 months. Most of that time, I represented myself as a lawyer. So, and I beat my cases and threw him in jail 4 times. Wow. So when I write these books, I'm writing from personal experience. I'm not no fake male life coach blowing smoke up your ass. I'm telling you what it is.
Yeah.
So... like I said, narcissists don't co-parent, they counter-parent. And you'll find if you have narcissists in your family, you know, your family versus your baby daddy or whatever and his family, your in-laws are going to work with your child's father to try to take the child from you.
Yeah.
They're in the business of pimping you. Okay, prostitution. So you have the baby, the goal is to take the child from you and sue you for child support. They want your money. They don't care about the child. The child is just the pawn piece. And that's why, you know, and if you won't allow them control of you or your child, then they'll discard you. But there will be multiple attempts to trigger you and abuse you and your child. If you let your child go off on visitation to be with your child's father or whoever, or in his family, the in-laws are narcissistic too. There will be attempts to train that child to disrespect you, to disable your parenting techniques, and to train the child to be narcissistic. So what I think at this point, it's up to the lawmakers and people to push narcissistic abuse, you know,
heavy.
Train the judges and the family court system to identify this, to make better decisions with custody and visitation. I think supervised visitation should be mandated.
Yeah.
This would protect the child. A lot of children are molested or killed when the judges give custody to the other parent, the toxic parent. So it's a lot of work to address. I think the family court system needs to be reformed altogether.
Reformed, general.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
You spoke with your daughter about narcissism.
Yes.
And so training her and educating her, that you're able to break it down for her so in terms where she can understand.
Yes. That
is out here. Be mindful. Don't let people abuse you.
I also had to let her go through it with her father so that she could see on her own. As a teenager, that was difficult for me.
Okay.
And I tell parents, because parents are like, how do I explain to my teenager about their parent? Well, I said, your teen knows there's something wrong. Teenagers are very smart. They're resilient. They know something's wrong with the toxic parent. Don't bash that parent. You got to let your child figure out on their own. So when that parent abuses them, now you have the ammunition. Your child will come to you like, well, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And then you can say, well, do you know what a narcissist? They need to teach this in high school and middle school. They really do. I'm pushing for that too.
Yeah.
But that other parent, when they expose themselves to your children when they're in their teens, then you can talk about it and say, I didn't want to talk bad about your parent, but this is what they are. They're a narcissist. Let me show you some videos. Let me show you some books over here. Then your teenager can start to understand what's going on.
Yeah. How does she feel now? She understands it now. She sees it.
She don't want nothing to do with her father.
Okay.
He did something really bad when she was 14, and I had to file an emergency petition for supervised visitation. Once he was served, he disappeared. Because narcissists do not want to be supervised. They want to be left alone with their children to manipulate their children. So if it's supervised visitation in place, then it means party's over. You can't manipulate your child. So that was 7 years ago. It was a blessing because we don't want to be bothered with him
at all.
So
Okay.
she don't want to be bothered with him. She don't care.
Especially at a young age, and hopefully that this new generation or the generation that's coming up, they can be such an awareness. I feel like classes or college.
We gotta get
classes,
this in school. That's
yeah.
my angle right now. Push this in schools. They need to be teaching this in middle and high school.
High school, college.
Absolutely.
Because I wish I would have known this early on. I would have just cut off so much negative stuff.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, it's coming.
Social media is exposing this behavior. These celebrities are just like all over the place with it, cheating on each other. Like it's everywhere.
Will and Jade, I know that was last year, but Will and Jade is that whole August Alsina was that whole mess was
all that.
Yeah.
It reminded me of my grandparents. I talked about them last time. They were married 60 years.
60.
Both of them are narcs.
Oh wow.
They have
60.
It's like an arrangement to me because there's no love there. I never saw my grandparents be loving.
Wow.
They coexist. They live in separate bedrooms.
Yeah, that's toxic. Yeah.
When I was a little girl, they both always had their own bedrooms, but they would not divorce. Would they fist fight? Bloody fist fights, but they would not divorce. Granddaddy had a baby with another woman outside his marriage, but they would not divorce. Grandmother cheated on him with another man, but they would not divorce.
Yeah.
Their behavior destroyed the rest of the family. Everybody's in toxic relationships because of the example they set.
Yeah.
So, Will and Jada, you look at their children, you could see the dysfunction.
No structure. Very.
Will is over here doing what he wants. When you have a lot of money involved, the rich don't give a damn.
Yeah.
It's just they all over the place, and it's just like at this point, let's hire a PR agent to control our image and what we release to the public. But they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They're gonna live their lives the way that they want, and they got all the money. They're already narcissistic, above the law. They don't care.
Yeah.
But Jada, you can tell Jada's doing her thing on the side, and Will is definitely doing his thing on the side. But they're not going to divorce. They haven't arranged.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys, Swiss Beats, Candy and Todd, T.I. and Tiny. They are not going to divorce. We gonna make this work. We ain't gotta sleep in the same bed. You do what you do over here, but you come home to me, and you bring your money home to me.
You play that role. Stay in that role. Don't say nothing.
And the women in these type of marriages are bisexual. Trust me, they're lesbians. Narcs get supply from both sexes. That's why I'm looking at Derek Jackson's wife like she's got them tendencies.
Yeah.
I ain't been wrong yet. I call it a mile away.
Yeah, you see it or you
that
see
girl
it.
ain't he's a multi-millionaire. It's too much money and clout and stuff. And she got all this attention from social media. She likes that attention.
Yeah.
I think she's a covert religious narc. I really do.
People, wake up. You see it's in front of you. While we wrap up, you are going on tour next month.
Hey,
yes. Real quick for the viewers, listeners, so they can hear.
In June, I will be in the South. I'm going all over the U.S., but I also have international. People that go through narc abuse. I always advocate that traveling is healing.
Yes.
So I have these international support group meetups. So I just did Cancun, Mexico. Next month, I'm in Aruba. May, I will be in San Juan, Puerto Rico. October is Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I will be in London and Paris, God willing, if things play out good with this COVID, which I believe it will.
It will this time, yeah.
I already booked my accommodations because I love Europe. I am a groupie, and I have a whole fan base in London, honey.
Yes.
They love me over there.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I'm like, I'm ready. So I'm just pushing people to travel to help them with their healing process. So I have an international, and I will be all over the U.S. this summer with support groups. Just go to my Instagram page, Spiritual Whistleblower, to find out the dates. The flyers are there.
Yes, and the books, that's all the newest release that you have right now. That's available now, Amazon.
Everything's there. Mother Major, Mother Fuck You,
Yes.
Protecting the Pawn, Co-parenting with a Narcissist. Hello, my name is Empathy. Glow Up Manual, How to Defeat a Narcissist. The men, Go to Hell, Jezebel. Everything's there on Amazon, guys, for everyone. I have something for everybody, male, female, children, you name it.
Yes, great. Thank you so much
Thank
for coming.
you for having me. This was fun. I feel like we need to do a part 3.
Yes, we do a part 3. After the tour, we'll do a part 3. We'll come up with what goes on and throughout the year. But thank you so much, Miss Chanel.
Thank you,
and
honey.
I want to thank the visitors for tuning in. And please subscribe. Please share this content. And we'll check you guys out later.
All right.
Take care, guys.